All right, let's start at the beginning. Pardon me. This is the six, and this is the six of Pentacles. So it does feel like material things are kind of surrounding you right now. It does feel like you're checking things off the list, getting things done. It does feel like the last couple of months may have been a little bit in limbo with your money. Your money might have been funny. So it does look like you are either currently looking for a new way to make either additional money, make money differently, but it does look like finances are in your focus right now. It does feel, I'm getting this message that some of your choices in the past around money were a little bit frivolous, and they are kind of coming back to bite you in the tuchus right now. So you're having to play a little bit of catch up. More than usual, but it does feel like you're reprioritizing your efforts, and you're reprioritizing your monies, and possibly connecting with a new job or looking for a new way of making some finances to get things in balance a little bit more. This balance scales is lighting up for me, so it does feel like it's a little more in balance. You're either getting some information on how to make a little more capital, or you've actually plunged into a new endeavor to make that happen for you. The devil is here. The devil is just a temptation. So if one of your temptations is to, buy two of everything when you go to the store, then you need to not go to the store right now. So have a little bit more self-control. This is here to remind you to have self-control. We all want lots of things, but you must really refocus on your needs right now, Taurus. It does look like you kind of went a little hog wild over the last couple of months on your wants, and now you're playing a little catch up on figuring out how to prioritize your needs and let your wants go for a little minute here. The moon is above you. This is a great position to be in. That's kind of like the what the main focus is, and it does feel like you're taking some great ideas from within and projecting them, or trying to project them into manifestation stage. This may be art. This may be some kind of service that you bring to people, but it does feel like something more along the line of creativity, working for yourself type of thing. Dog says hi. Anyway, so it does feel like some of your ideas are actually being shot into the world, so they may be manifesting right now. So it does look like you have spent a lot of time working out the intricacies of something, and that now it's time to put that stuff into action. I know you had a number of cards like that last month, so it does feel like you're on your path. Keep moving. So and it does feel like you are kind of gathering with people and sharing your information, extracting information and sharing your information to better yourself or better community as a whole. So it does look like you're including other people in this grand scheme of things, not only to help you, but to add or aid others that are trying to get their projects off of the ground. So you may be looking at working for yourself a little bit more than you had in the past, or how that looks to you, I should say. Here is the three. This is also the Three of Pentacles, and this does feel like you are coming into balance, mind, body, and spirit. It does feel like you might have strayed a little bit from either faith or faith in yourself is what I'm feeling, but it does feel like you have taken a step up in your havingness and in your certainty. So you may have rejoined rejoined church. You may have reconnected with a study group. This does feel like it's more on the self-help or religious bent. So it does feel like you are really finally looking for some answers for your heart space, for the big picture, not just situations. So it does look like you want to make some big changes in your life, but there's a big question mark on how you begin doing that, or what does that look like, because it's such a new space for you. But you are slowly gathering information, really starting to put into action these ideas. And that looks like you were, most of the winter you kind of sat with it, but it does feel like now you're ready to start the motion. And it does feel like there is some financial necessity that kind of kicked you in the butt to start this motion. Whatever it takes to get it moving, Taurus, is what it takes. So the Ace of Wands is here, and wands are about action, about movement. That is a fire. And the aces are kind of hands of God, things that come out of just out of the air. And it does feel like this is in the present time, so it does feel like you may have been offered a job or promotion, had a brilliant idea, something that would bring some of these finances into balance a little bit, and it does feel like it's something straight out of the clouds. The general interpretation of the Ace of Wands is the beginning of an enterprise or creative endeavor or a money-raising idea. So this is right in line with what you've been working on. So keep going, but it does look like the light at the end of the tunnel isn't a train. It is more information for you. So it does feel like you are finally on the path, that you've gotten rid of some of the challenges, and that you're able to really focus, because this requires your focus. So it does feel like when you whether either you relinquished, conceded, released a preconceived idea, then it looked like the universe really opened up other possibilities that you had no idea were going to be offered to you. So this is something straight out of the sky, something kind of all of a sudden hit you upside the head, and it is a positive for moving forward. What is in your future position is the 7. And, you know, 7s can be challenges. They usually are about pretty heavy lessons. And this does feel like that you're taking a step out of your fear. I know this is normally the card for being fearful, watching the people around you, being careful who you trust. But Spirit is telling me that you are walking away from a lot of your fears. You are taking some of them with you, as the card depicted, but you are walking away from a lot of your fears, and you're just kind of jumping into them, challenging yourself with these fears instead of shying away. It does look like you're a little bit stymied, maybe even the decision-making process could have been a little constipated the last couple of months, but it does feel like you've kind of picked up your big girl bootstraps or big boy bootstraps and said, the heck with this, I'm just going to go into this and see what happens. I can always turn around and go another way. So you are no longer kind of at mercy of your fears, which you have been, it looks like, for the last 6 to 18 months. A lot of your fears have been kind of controlling your decisions or lack of movement in decisions. So it does look like you're kind of gathering up your fears and just marching through it. What the heck? The Emperor is here, and you know, he is kind of the highest exalted card. So a lot of times when the Emperor shows up, he's here to remind you to stay in integrity, even if all around you fall. Keep going forward. Make those hard decisions. Speak those hard truths with love and kindness. But it does look like it's time for you to march through and claim your power. It looks like for the last year or so, you have been really grappling with your own personal power, with insecurities and fears and things coming back from the past to kind of haunt you. Well, you have released a lot of those fears, realize that you are the king of the forest or queen of the forest, and you can do anything you put in front of your face. Taurus, you're a very, very diligent sign, and use that stubbornness that everyone else despises to your benefit. Be stubborn about finding the right place for you. Be stubborn about marching through your fears, and be in your highest integrity. Don't let that anger hold you back. Don't let that fear or insecurity hold you back. It's time to march right through that jive and be that emperor that you are. So it does feel like the universe is calling you. What you have to offer is needed out in the world. So it's time to march through it. And it does look like you are taking a step onto that path. So I don't want to negate or I don't want to negate the work that you have been doing. Just keep going, and you'll get there. All these cards in the future position look like they're positive working cards. And there are some decision stuff, but it does look like all this funkiness is really in the past. So it looks like it's time to just cross the T's, dot the I's, and get moving, just as you have been doing, Taurus. So continue that vein. The Lovers card is here. It does feel like some of this fear, this insecurities may have been over a love that either isn't working out, didn't work out, or maybe some insecurities about being on your own. But it does look like some of these fears have been brought up from a past relationship, whether it is currently working for you now, or that you are not in relationship at all with this person. But it does look like you really took a hit with some funkiness with either your last relationship or a past relationship that's kind of reared its ugly head. So you've been healing your heart a lot. The Lovers is showing up here when you're ready to open your heart, whether that's within a current relationship or whether it's welcoming a new one, or just welcoming a wonderful, loving relationship with yourself. You know, we're so hard on ourselves sometimes that we forget we're supposed to love ourselves first and foremost, supposed to love ourselves and accept that we make mistakes and move on from them. That's how we learn, and that's what we're here on the planet for, is to make mistakes, learn, love, get your heart broken, and love again. So it's time to love again, however that looks for you, Taurus. The Ace of Cups is here. That's also can be the love card. That can be the soulmate card. It also could mean that maybe you're witnessing a love. So you might be being invited to a commitment ceremony of some kind. And you know, aces are here. That's hands of God. You've got two. So you are firmly on your path. Let go of some of those fears. And cups are really about new love. Can be birth of a child or a marriage. Or a soulmate. So it does look like that you've opened your heart and kind of given God permission to give you your next step. You have them one after the other. So it does look like you have successfully healed your heart, and you are moving forward. It doesn't mean it's completed the healing, but it does look like you're going in the right direction, sweet Taurus. Okay, the culmination card is the Three of Wands here. It does feel like you are having to make a decision. It does look like you were kind of in limbo for a while and had no decisions, and all of a sudden, boom, boom, boom. You have probably three solid decisions. It does look like one is a little bit more appealing to you. I'm also feeling that travel may be involved in this decision. It does feel like you can wait a moment, that it does feel like people are kind of pressuring you, but take a day or so to feel what feels right to you, what would fit in your lifestyle for your family and where you want to live before you make this big decision. It may be a new job, and it may be a job taking you out of the area, or that requires some travel in the future. I'm also feeling that there is a consideration of either going to some kind of celebration of some kind in a foreign country. This could be a wedding. This could be a music festival. But it does feel like you're considering doing something also for pleasure. So this may be a family visit to the East Coast or something like that if you're on the West. It does require distance, and it does require time. But for the most part, this card is here to remind you to take your time at making this decision. It does look like it will have sweeping effects on you and others. So make sure that everyone in your family is okay with this big decision before you make the final move. On the left of it, it's also validating making that decision. Should I stay? Should I go? Is it up? Is it down? So within all this, you are finding your balance. It does look like you've been spinning for a little bit with this kind of sudden information, kind of might have thrown you off the game. This may have been your partner wanting to separate. This may have been your job saying that's it. This may have been a new situation that's presented to you, but it does look like you have some pretty important decisions to make. So take your time making them, especially if they affect other people. Don't just make it for yourself. Take into account how that decision will affect others. And then you'll be able to find your balance within that decision. You are healing yourself. There is tons of red and orange here. It looks like you're moving out of that anger space into the healing space. You know, denial is always the first we hit of any large situation or any decisions. But it does look like you're moving into the decision-making space and the balance. Finding more and more balance for yourself, sweet Taurus. Okay, the other culmination card here is the 9. So you're almost done with this decision. And this is kind of the weeding out process. What I need, what I don't. This may even be on the physical level. So you could be going through closets. You could be rearranging furniture, releasing things, getting rid of your kids' toys that no longer serve. They're just stacked up somewhere. But it does look like you're releasing not only things, but possibly relationships and people that no longer serve you. Could be jobs. So it does look like you're minimizing things, you're making your life a little bit less hectic, and that you're simplifying your life a bit. So you are ready and willing and able. When Spirit tells you to jump, you'll be ready. So it does look like the simplification act is happening right now. So let me throw a couple of the chakra cards. These are chakra, what would you call them? Well, chakra cards. Good enough. Visionary cards. They're one-word cards, and they're also color-coded to the chakra that you are currently using. Well, here's two that just popped right out, so we'll just pull those, shall we? Gossip and confusion. Okay, so validated to stay out of the gossip place. If your 2 cents is needed, make sure it is not slandering anyone. And there is a bit of confusion on your next step. So keep things simple as possible, and things will be a little clearer for you, sweet Taurus.